I don't know why I thought it was gonna taste like something.
Moshi Moshi, I'm Donna Beneviento. Welcome to vlog number 6. That was not supposed to be vlog number 6 yet. If you're new here, hello, my name is Spazz. I run Spazzetix Studio. I am Spazzetix Studio. And this is the second channel where we yap and you get to know me, Spazz the person, aka the Artfluencer. There was not supposed to be a vlog number 6 yet. I've actually pre-filmed all of my content for the month of April already. And so right now I'm working on an ebook for e-marketing for digital artists available on Patreon. Join my Patreon. But something really interesting happened this morning. I got a call around 9 a.m. today to tell me that a surgery I have been waiting for a year and a half for is happening next week. Before we get into it, my plan actually for May was to film a whole new segment for this channel. We were gonna do the illustrator meal of the day. If you don't follow me on Instagram, and you should follow me on Instagram, I like to do the illustrator meal of the day to basically show like nutritious and healthy options for people who are illustrators, who work from home, who are content creators, who want to maintain their overall physical health. Your most important artistic tool is your body. Taking care of your joints and your digestion and your health and your general well-being comes above all else, and it especially comes above creating content. Again, I don't consider myself solely an advocacy page or solely an advocacy channel, but as a dynamically disabled ostomate and ex-cancer patient, I do like to give sort of my tips and tricks for, like, you know, surviving the day and the perils of being an influencer. And speaking of that, if you don't follow me on TikTok, you should follow me on TikTok. You've probably noticed I have a colostomy bag. The plan for the month of May, that's why this is here. This is my sourdough starter. The illustrator meal of the day was going to be very sourdough focused. It hasn't become a starter yet because I only began the fermentation process yesterday. I have named it the Megamycete. And then we were gonna do a Binky blog because the Binky is 10 years old on Wednesday. So we were gonna have a little dog birthday sort of vlog and then an illustrator meal of the day. However, I am getting operated. There is a lot of preparation to do ahead of being operated. I need to prepare everything that needs to come with me to the hospital because as a dynamically disabled person, there's a lot of things I need to bring. I have to make sure that my house is stocked for when I come back so that mobility and accessibility are not perils. I have to make sure that the dog's food is made in advance so that if I don't feel well, he doesn't go hungry, obviously. So we need to do a lot. I also need to cook and freeze and prep nutritious food for me to facilitate recovery, obviously. So if I look a little unpolished, it's because I literally just got the news and have put all of my projects and my entire life on hold while I prepared to be operated. I've been mulling over some other ideas for this sort of like yapping with me section of the vlogs that I do because I've gotten a lot of questions on YouTube and TikTok about what it's like to be an ostomate. It's not really a big secret as to why I have the colostomy bag. If you've seen my other vlogs or you hang out with me on Instagram and TikTok, you'll know why. You know? But like, I do want to talk about something very briefly because I think it is important. So for starters, let me tell you what I'm having done actually surgically. I am having 3 major surgeries at once. I'm having endometriosis excision surgery, I'm having a hysterectomy, and I am having the colostomy bag reversal. The TLDR of the bag is that I had a giant tumor. They tried to do a cryoablation because they were not confident in chemo being an option for me. A radio, unfortunately, was not an option for me, and resectioning, which is big surgery where they cut everything out, including the tumor and the healthy tissue around it, was not an option for me. The ablation, which is basically a process where they go in with a series of needles and they try to cryogenically freeze a tumor so that all of the cells die and it shrinks, went horribly wrong. It partially disemboweled me. I was in the hospital for 9.5 months. I was in palliative care. It was an absolute disaster. It blew a hole from my intestine to the outside world, and everything that was supposed to remain in my abdomen came out of my abdomen. The colostomy bag is a transverse loop colostomy, meaning they moved my intestine from one side of my abdomen to the other and cut open the side to allow poop to escape so that there was no poop sitting in this big hole that had been blown in my abdomen, because little did I know I had poop sitting in that big hole because I didn't have any pain with the hole, but I was going septic. So I've had the colostomy. It's been 2 years and change now. And so it's not medically necessary. There's no medical need for me to have the colostomy. It was supposed to be reversed earlier, but they kept it because eventually I did need resectioning. They removed about 1/4 of my abdomen. So everything on the lower left side was taken out. Skin, fat, fascia, muscle, all of it. And so my surgeon thought that if we kept the colostomy, it would give it the best possible chance of healing, because, you know, the intestine wouldn't have to work while it was recovering from having been repaired. So I don't need the bag anymore. It's a little bittersweet. I've really started to ostomate content, and I love hearing from people who have medical devices who are excited to tell me that I inspire them to wear it in public and wear the clothes that they like to wear. I'm sad that that has to come to an end because I won't have a medical device anymore, but it's also not medically necessary, and it's starting to cause issues with my lower intestine because my lower intestine has become lazy. It's not really working because there's no poop in it, which is a problem for me because I need it to continue to function. The other thing, obviously, my stoma, because it's an emergency stoma, the stoma is the part of the intestine that sticks out, is in the wrong place. It is not situated very well. It causes a lot of pain because there's a lot of erosion of the skin. It's issues that a regular ostomate would not have, but it's issues that I have because my colostomy is technically not where it's medically supposed to be. So for all of these reasons and more, the colostomy's gotta go. I'm a little bummed, you know, we've known each other, me and my second butthole, for 2.5 years almost. I think that it is going to be weird without it. Your brain is quicker than you think to adapt to things, you know? So now that it's going to be gone, it's going to be a little weird. In terms of the hysterectomy and excision, I have endometriosis. It's one of the genetic diseases that I've unfortunately inherited. And I can't produce children. So my infertile girlies, I feel you. Chemically and physically, I cannot conceive and I cannot carry a pregnancy to term. There's no reason for me to have a uterus because I lose so much blood and there's endometriosis that is growing on my other organs. It's gotta go. If you don't know what endometriosis is, essentially your body grows uterine tissue outside the uterus, but the problem is when you have a period, that uterus tissue can't come out because it's not in the uterus. And so it begins to stick your organs together. It creates what's called plaques, which are big, sticky scar tissue chunks. And it's extremely painful. It's one of the most painful diseases on the planet. I suffer greatly. I have to have regular blood transfusions and iron infusions, and it makes me anemic, and it causes pain and fainting and vomiting. Endometriosis, unfortunately, is responsible for a lot of my issues, including the tumor and sort of the genre of cancer that I had. Originally, they diagnosed me with sarcoma, but then they realized that it wasn't sarcoma. I had a benign tumor that acts like sarcoma. It's the type of tumor, essentially, that when not diagnosed, because they tend to go unnoticed, mutates again into sarcoma. It's a very complicated tumor. It's a real pain in my ass, honestly. It's something that I have to worry about for the rest of my life. having a uterus and having a period, or having a child, for example, would produce hormones that really kick off soft tissue cancers and soft tissue tumors. And so for that reason, my oncologist, because I have to be followed by the cancer center for the rest of my life, is not jazzed with me having a uterus. And so I decided to pull the trigger and to alleviate my endometriosis symptoms, but also to alleviate the risk of eventually, potentially developing actual sarcoma or having another tumor like regrow or grow somewhere else. I decided no more uterus. And I'm okay with it. It is what it is. Excision surgery refers to the process of an endometriosis surgeon removing any endometriosis that has developed. So I've had really extensive imaging done because endometriosis tissue is very sneaky and it doesn't always appear on things like ultrasounds or scans. I have had internal ultrasounds, CT scans, and MRIs, and we know exactly the position of the tissue. And so we know that like excision is not only possible, but it's extremely medically necessary in my case. So all three of these surgeries normally would be considered pretty big surgeries. The reason I am having everything at the same time is because I also have factor V. It's another genetic disease that I inherited. It's a blood disorder. It causes clotting. Like excess clotting. I get pulmonary embolisms and things for absolutely no reason at all. Unfortunately, this means that it's not safe for me to be operated many times, and so it wouldn't be a good idea to have me like go in for major surgery and recover and go in for major surgery. And so we want to get everything done at the same time so that we could be done. So that's the plan. My oncologist is going to be doing my reversal. My endometriosis surgeon is going to be doing the excision and the hysterectomy. So what are we going to do for vlog number 6? Essentially, I'm going to take you through the process of a medically complex person getting ready for surgery. We need to do a lot. So we're going to do all of that and more. I'll still film BINKUS's birthday vlog. We'll get some nice BINKUS footage. I'm going to bake him a cake. And we have the sourdough starter. If there's fun and interesting sourdough updates, you will certainly get them. And that's it. So without further ado, let's do it. Currently prepping soups for the post-op recovery. I'm making a variety of traditional Chinese soups. So 3 of them are going to be chicken. 1 of them is going to be white fish. Added quite a bit of salt. I'm going to add also yellow rock sugar. I want to replenish my electrolytes while I'm in the hospital, so we're going to do basically just a plain broth, salt, sugar. There's ginger as an anti-nausea, fish, and then for the other ones, I'm just going to fill the pot with bouillon and make the soup that way. So these are gonna get packaged and frozen. These we're gonna steam now. Day 1 is complete. This is the final soup. It's a plain chicken and ginger. My freezer is almost full. We got, hold on. We got whitefish soup, white bean soup, chicken and turnip soup, prepped sweet potatoes, they need to be cooked, and a prepped cabbage stir fry that I'm gonna make tomorrow, and sliced cabbage and pork belly. Done. I juiced a pound of ginger and I made a bunch of these. They're basically like beet and flaxseed and lime smoothies for iron and fiber. So we'll have these as well. Today is Mustafa's birthday. I'm gonna barbecue him a little steak later, but for the time being, yesterday I made him these little cakes. They're dog-safe peanut butter, shredded carrot, egg, and I grinded up oatmeal to make oat flour. We're gonna make a frosting out of dog safe peanut butter and yogurt, and hopefully he'll like it and hopefully he'll eat it. Nice freeze-dried cubes of lamb. Ooh, they're stinky. So let's... It's so cute. I've let all this thaw. It's fruits, vegetables, puree. This is beef and chicken. We're going to make him enough food to last a month. My dad's gonna feed him for me, but we don't have to worry about like what he's gonna eat.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Pinky.
Binky!
Happy birthday to you. Yeah.
We've talked about all my conditions, my heart, my lungs, my everything else. We are almost done, and then I can go home. I've been up since 5 a.m. It's currently 11 a.m. I'm supposed to be here till noon, so assuming I don't have to do any crazy ass tests, I'll be done. I'll be done and then I can go home. So pre-op crossed off the list. So I was actually gonna be done for today, but I just got done journaling and like I just want to like put some thoughts into words. So the trauma of being at that hospital, of like I have to go back to this hospital where I almost died many times, where there was medical neglect, where there was being disemboweled, where there was being diagnosed with sarcoma, and then being diagnosed with not sarcoma, and then being diagnosed with maybe sarcoma. Like, as soon as we got out of the car in the parking lot, I was crying. I was gonna pass out. I knew I was gonna pass out. I was like crying, shaking, and I was like, I think I need to go. And my mom was like, well, you can't. She was like, this isn't a situation where you can like choose to give up. Like, you're going and you have to go. And so she plopped me in a wheelchair and I went puking, crying, freaking out. Like, I was like, oh my God, I have to do this. Halfway through the afternoon, I went to the bathroom and I looked at myself in the mirror and I pointed to myself and I was like, you can do it. Like, you are strong. If you can have like 4 major surgeries in 9 months, have your intestines come out of you, throw up poop, have poop in your bloodstream, become septic, be disemboweled, emergency colostomy, total resectioning of like the entire lower left quadrant of the abdomen. You can like get through the day. And I was like, you can do it. Like, you can do it. And I realized that it was the first time ever that I have like had a tete-a-tete with myself and been like, you can do it. Like, looked into my own eyes and been like, I know you can do it because you are like strong and admirable. I'm one of those people, I think, that like the achievements never feel like they're enough. Even when you like achieve something fantastic, like getting out of palliative care or surviving being disemboweled, still in my mind I'm like, well, it's not enough because like whatever, the next surgery will be the thing that I'm proud of, and then it'll happen and I'm like, no, the next, like a lot of my post-op anxiety as somebody who's going to be a cancer patient forever, because boy, are soft tissue tumors and mutations tenacious as hell. A lot of the like post-op anxiety is wrapped up in this fear that like I can't like trust my own body, or that I'm not able to take care of myself. I'm still to this day, when I feel a little bit off, terrified to be home alone at 27, because I'm almost under the impression that if something happens to me, I can't take care of myself, which makes no sense because I do everything for myself. Like, nobody is gonna prep for the surgery and have the surgery and recover from the surgery for me. I didn't make it to 27 years of being alive with undiagnosed, like, deadly lethal genetic disease alone in the world. Like, it wasn't by accident. And yet, I don't know, I'm like obsessed with this idea that I can't take care of myself. And so like today I was journaling, and I was like, I wrote about how like I really, for the first time ever, like looked at myself in the eyes and was like, you did it. When I was septic and dying, I used to write a lot in my journal about how I didn't recognize like my reflection. I used to kind of I used to refer to myself as like the ghost of me, and that like every time I passed a reflective surface, it almost didn't register that it was me, because it didn't register that it was me because it was so like horrific and horrible to look at. And it was horrible, like mutilated, disemboweled, septic, sick, like dying. Look at yourself and then try to imagine yourself as a corpse. It's jarring. And I've realized that like this year, even though it's been so hard to like bounce back and become a person again. Like, that's really what it is. I feel like I don't know. I became something that was not human, and I have been taken apart and put back together. And 2024 was like, okay, go become yourself again. And a lot of 2024 was me being like, well, what am I? Who am I? What are we doing? For the longest time, I thought that who I was like academics. I got 3 college degrees. I did it on purpose. I thought I was going to do a PhD. I did all of this preparation. I did all of these internships. I like made sure that every door of academia was open through years and years of hard work, because I thought that was going to be my life. It's funny, like, even when it's stupid things. Oh, I'm gonna replay. I went through a phase of playing all the Zeldas, and I like replayed Ocarina of Time, and I bought a DS, and I got like Nintendogs, and then I replayed Majora's Mask, and then I played like A Link Through Time, and then I set up our Wii from 2000 God knows what, and played Twilight Princess, and like all of these little stepping stones of like, oh yeah, this is the person I am. Starting to draw again was like, oh shit, this is it's almost like for years trying to be like, I don't know, a respectable adult, I was walking through this haze of like somebody else's dream. It's very strange. It's as if somebody, I don't know, in my sleep convinced me that I was this like other person, and then after almost dying, it's like I woke up, like it's like I died, and then I came back, and I was like, oh, I forgot like what I was. During my journaling, like I literally said, it seems insane to think that I'm grateful for all of the heinous shit that happened. While it was happening, I kept saying like I would be able to endure it. I would even be happy to endure it if I just knew why this was happening. If somebody could just come down on a cloud and tell me like, why am I suffering like this? Why am I hanging between life and death for 9 months? Why did I have a tumor for 3 years that slowly, insidiously invaded my life and chipped away at it until there was nothing left? Like, why this? Wasn't there another means, or like an easier means, that the universe or God or whatever you want to believe in could have like shown me that I had veered off, you know, the path of being me? Like, I was like, I just wish somebody would tell me why. It took a few years, but I think I figured out why. And so, like 100 million times, I'm so grateful for almost dying, which sounds maybe a little bit insane, but like, I would not trade this version of me that is truly the version of me that is me, that has always been me, for the version of me that I thought I had to do because I was not going to be able to do anything else. I thought I had to get a PhD because I had to have a real job because I couldn't do content creation. I thought, I don't know, I had to stay in a relationship where I was unsupported and unhappy and emotionally abused because, but I'm almost 30. What am I going to do? Go back in the dating pool? I thought I had to stay in a really weird, abusive, codependent friend group that not only abused me, but abuses each other because, well, it's easy, it's convenient, we've been friends for so long. Like, I constructed this person that didn't exist, and I don't think was supposed to exist, because I was so tired of like life being like a letdown, I guess. And so now I'm like, oh, thank God I almost died. Like, it's funny, when I was in the hospital in palliative care, like expecting to die, because it's not like I expected to not die, and I would think very often to myself, like, if I wasn't dying, what would I want to do? Because if I can figure out what I want to do if I wasn't dying, then maybe it'll give me something to like hang on to, so that at least I can like envision my future. And I was like, oh, is it going back to university? Is it going back to work? Is it like, I couldn't figure it out. And I didn't figure it out until even after the resectioning was done, even after I had been out of the hospital for a couple months, even after I went and checked myself into a psychiatric hospital because I was having such a hard time. It dawned on me, almost by accident, when I posted the first drawing ever to Instagram, expecting absolutely nothing, because it's not like in however many years of posting anything interesting had ever happened. And all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, I get it now. I felt like that meme, oh my God, I get it. Like, all of a sudden it was like, oh, okay. I thought, especially when I got the colostomy, that all of these things were a death sentence. The colostomy, the resectioning, even before all the complications, just the tumor itself, because it was sold to me as a death sentence. But what I realized is that all of these things that everybody expected were going to derail my life perfectly put my life back, I think, on track. And it's funny, like, I used to say, like, well, why couldn't the universe have shown me what I was supposed to change in my life in a gentler way? But I think that sometimes, if you're like me, you need to be literally, like, whacked over the head and be told, like, no, change paths, idiot. I agonized for a long time by saying that the tumor, like, removed my ability to further my education, and it removed my job, and it removed my boyfriend from my life, and it alienated a lot of my friends from my life, and it was like this list of things that were being taken away. But now, in my like post horrible tumor wisdom, I realize for the first time ever, with perfect clarity and no doubt, that like those things disappearing from my life, it was all things that I didn't have the courage to like cut that shit off at the legs myself. The tumor did it for me. Let me know if any of that made sense. Let me know if any of that resonated with you. Let me know if any of that seemed even a little bit helpful, like, I really share my life more so because I've always wanted to have a platform of like being a helpful person. Like, I don't just, it's not just like I want to do social media because I want money and I want fame. Like, I want to be a positive role model. I do. And I hope that like my weird ass lived experiences for somebody out there somewhere can inject a level of like, you are not alone. Because when these horrible things happen to people, it's so easy to slip into the mindset of like, it's just me. I'm the only person in the world going through this and everything is terrible and I'm so lonely, and why aren't I like doing better? Why aren't I just magically getting over the hurdles? And I think it's important to have someone sit you down and be like, you're not the only one going through it. I am also going through it. So there you go. Welcome to the packing corner. So included in our packing today, medical grade compression socks, so that I do not get 13 blood clots again and a pulmonary embolism. No thanks. Approximately 10,000 pairs of period underwear. I'll never really need this again after this because it's not like I'm not going to be bleeding or anything. They are still kind of nice to have. I anticipate at least some spotting, right? Because like they're gonna be all up in there. So I figured I would bring them so that if there's any kind of breakthrough bleeding, we have a safety net. I'm bringing 10,000 pairs of fluffy socks. Hospitals are cold and extremely unpleasant. I will also pack a pair of just regular slippers. For self-care products, we're keeping it simple. I have never liked period products, even before we knew that tampons were arsenic popsicles. So I only buy organic cotton pads. I am bringing a ton of these as a fail-safe, as a little just in case. For face washing, I'm just doing towelettes. I'll be so for real. I don't have the patience in a hospital. I didn't do skincare for 9 months last time, the whole time I was there. Fuck it. I'll bring a little headband. I don't have hair, so that's not really a problem. Basic ass toiletries, a fuck ton of wet ones. Shower wipes, because the hospital shower wipes are bullshit. This is the Superior brand. I use it for everything. Aquaphor. And then for pain, I'm bringing arnica cream. And we're gonna undo this tummy ache, where the fuck is it? Tummy ache survivor custom heat pad. We're gonna roll it up and we're gonna pack it. The rumors are true. I look like ass. We are done packing. I managed to actually find teeny tiny versions of the things I needed. Look at this tiny Castis. Okay, next thing, I got a lucky iron fish. I mean, we have plans anyway to like monitor my hemoglobin and my iron and my anemia and stuff, but I figured that I could get the lucky iron fish to put in my food, especially since my post-op food is almost like exclusively soup. I don't know why I thought it was gonna taste like something. Final thing, truly nothing interesting. Ton of sports bras. I mean a ton, I bought a 3-pack. For me, it's a ton. Again, everything surgically is happening between like my upper abdomen and my pelvis. So I brought pajama pants and like really loose pajama shirts, but I'm gonna be so for real. I don't know if I'll even have the patience. So I figured I could just sort of have the midriff fully bare if it gets really uncomfortable. You'll never believe who just rolled out of bed and has FOMO. Are you hungry? Oh. So much to say. Bro is verbose. I hope you enjoyed vlog number 6. I will see you all when I recover. I will make sure to get footage of the general happenings. Obviously I don't know when I'll be back. There's gonna be a community post. If you want more regular updates, I do suggest following me on Instagram above all else.
check me out on TikTok, check out my Patreon, check out my Instagram, check out my website if you're feeling saucy. Check out the main channel, who knows? I think the first video that's gonna get made when I come back is gonna be the Donna Beneviento one. I want to start off on a fun foot. So, you are all in my thoughts. I hope that I am in your thoughts. I love you very much. Stay weird, be nice to each other. And bye-bye until further notice.